So there's something I wanted to promote that's happening on the 21st and the 22nd of May, this next month, and it is a fundraiser walk for the Church of the Immaculate Heart of Mary in Belfast. So it's leaving Slieve Donard Hotel on the 21st of May, and we're arriving the day afterwards on the 22nd of May for Mass and Benediction in the Immaculate Heart of Mary Church. I just had a curious incident about this fundraiser last week. A friend of mine, he had sent it on to me in WhatsApp, and he says, "Look, we're looking for 20 more people to do the walk to help us fundraise for this church in Belfast." It's a church run by the Institute of Christ the King. It was purchased from the Presbyterians back in 2019. I was at the opening mass in 2019. My son was an altar boy at the opening mass that evening back in 2019. And last Thursday evening, I was in adoration. You know the adoration we do after the Last Supper mass, the Holy Thursday mass, really. So I was in adoration, and it was coming to me. I need to promote this. I need to do a video on promote this walk, this fundraiser for this church in Belfast. Anyway, I come out of adoration last Thursday and I open up my phone. There's a WhatsApp message from a guy in the States. You know, you see +1, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know the guy. He says, "Do you know in Ireland there's this chapel in Belfast and they're looking for fundraising?" And I said, "Wow, that is really bizarre. Some random person in America who's looking at my videos thinks to send me a WhatsApp message about the Institute of Christ the King Church in Belfast, which I was getting in prayer anyway." I mean, I would have done the video regardless, because the man that was asking me to promote this, he came to the Derry Adoration 2 years ago, and he's been doing a lot in the faith. He loves our Lord. So I would have done this video anyway. But it was just interesting, something coming to me in prayer, some random WhatsApp message. Anyway, I just ask people to share this video around if there's anybody interested in doing this fundraiser walk for the Church of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. You can just WhatsApp me and I'll send you on details. It's starting on the 21st of May from Slieve Donard Hotel in Newcastle, and it's arriving the day later, 22nd of May, at the Church of the Immaculate Heart of Mary in Belfast. For anyone who doesn't know, the Institute of Christ the King, that church in Belfast, it offers traditional Latin Mass. And it's not about dividing the church. I know people say, "Oh, we're very attached to the Latin. We're very, we're worshipping a rite," or there's. But the reality is, for me, and I'd love I love someday somebody does an actual study on it. For me, the traditional Latin Mass lends itself to contemplation. It lends itself to prayer. And it nourished saints for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It's good that we can experience this contemplation. And if you go to a traditional Latin Mass with your family and you're all highly catechized and you're all reading Holy Scriptures and you're all praying the Rosary and you're all going to confession and you're using sanctifying grace to grow the faith in your families, use it. Go there. Obviously to increase faith in the church, to increase unity in the church. It's in that spirit that I want to promote this project as something to help the Irish church. We need more prayer. We need more contemplation. We live in such a crazy, busy world. It's a mad world we live in sometimes. To actually go to that church in Belfast and to spend an hour in contemplation during the holy sacrifice of the Mass, to go to confession or pray a rosary, it's an oasis of peace. It's an oasis. And during the pandemic, oftentimes I go up to Belfast to work, to get out during the restrictions. I used to my brother has a house up there, and so I could stay in Belfast, and oftentimes I would walk either walk to Institute of Christ the King from my brother's house, or I'd walk to the Falls Road to St. Peter's, so it was, they offered confession all during this time. And so now they're renovating this church, because if people will remember the previous one, it was a Protestant church. So look, the sanctuary has to be reconstructed, or there has to be an altar rails, because before there was just makeshift stuff. So they're doing work to make this a beautiful place for Our Lady. And I really, really feel Our Lady is kind of managing this project. She wants something like this. She wants this to be an oasis of peace, an oasis of prayer, an oasis where we can step into contemplation. As I said, I don't like this traditional, non-traditional Novus Ordo TLM confrontation in the church. The Holy Sacrifice, the Mass, is the Mass. And our Lord says, I asked our Lord once in prayer, like, which Mass do you prefer, or do we go to, trying to figure out? And our Lord said to me, I prefer people come to the Mass where they encounter me with their heart. If you think about the videos I did over the Christmas after Fiducia Supplicans, and a lot of the reaction from bishops in Africa, and one bishop was talking about how the faithful walked for 2 days to go to Mass in Africa. 2 days. And remember, all of the martyrs over the last 50 years in many places are in Africa and Middle East that go to the Novus Ordo. Our Lord is there at the Mass. Our Lord is there. He's truly present, body and blood, soul and divinity. That said, in our Western culture, in our crazy culture, we have lost the sense of the sacred in many locations. We've spent millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of euros remodeling churches, removing altars, removing altar rails, removing statues, removing the sacred. And what the Institute of Christ the King, in my opinion, what they do, especially in Limerick and now in Belfast, they're saying, look, as a project of love for the church, we're going to offer you someplace which is beautiful. Beauty leads to contemplation. It leads us into prayer. It leads us into that union with God. And so this is a place of beauty. And it really is. It's a beautiful church. Aesthetically, it's a beautiful church. And now they're going to remodel it. So it's a place of contemplation, of beauty. Everything centered on God. And it's in that spirit, we need to do this. It's a project that clearly heaven wants done. And so if you'd like to do the walk, I will be doing the walk. I have booked time off. I think it's what we need to do. And to leave this beautiful treasure for Belfast. It's a treasure for our times. And I as I said, I would have promoted this video anyway, but now after that, what happened last Thursday, and I actually did a video on Monday, but I got the dates wrong on the video. I said June instead of May. So look, I have the dates right here. And so just contact me. My details are on this channel if you want to get involved, and we will put you in contact with the group that's leading this fundraiser, and let's finish this project for Our Lady. It's such a beautiful project. It's beautiful. The Immaculate Heart of Mary. Our Lord is very. Our Lord would want this done anyway. So anyway, it's in that spirit to fortify the church, to pray for our church, to strengthen our bishops in Ireland. It is in that spirit I want to promote this fundraiser, to strengthen the Irish church. Anyway, God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.